Have you ever held something so small in your hand and wondered if it had a story? Something that's passed through thousands of hands, quietly carrying the weight of history, design, and change? Today, we're going to take a closer look at a coin that might seem insignificant at first glance, but in truth, it's a fascinating piece of Australian heritage, the humble Australian 5-cent coin. So sit back, relax, and let's dive deep into the tale of this little silver disc that has stood the test of time. Now, if you live in Australia, you've probably seen or used this coin hundreds, maybe thousands of times. It's the tiny silver coin with a spiky creature on one side and a regal profile on the other. You might not give it a second thought when you receive it as change or spot it at the bottom of your pocket. But that little coin, introduced in 1966, has quite a tale to tell. Let's start at the beginning, the birth of the Australian decimal currency system. In 1966, Australia made the bold move to switch from the pounds, shillings, and pence system to a decimal system. It was a major moment in Australian economic history. With this transition came the introduction of new coins, including the 5-cent piece. At the time, the 5-cent coin was equivalent in value to the pre-decimal shilling. It replaced the shilling in daily transactions, and it was the same size and made from the same metal, a copper-nickel alloy. But what really stood out was its fresh new design. On one side, you had Queen Elizabeth II, her profile symbolizing Australia's ties to the Commonwealth. And on the reverse, a curious animal, the echidna, one of Australia's most unique and lesser-known creatures. The design of the echidna was the work of master goldsmith Stuart Devlin. He was tasked with creating the new designs for Australia's coins, and what he did with the 5-cent coin is nothing short of iconic. He didn't just slap a picture of an echidna on the coin, he created a stylized, almost regal version of the animal, with its spines fanning out like rays and its little snout tucked down as if it were shy. It's a beautiful and detailed piece of miniature art, appreciated by numismatists and casual collectors alike. What's fascinating is how this tiny coin has remained unchanged in its design for decades. While many other coins around the world have undergone transformations, new metals, updated designs, even complete redesigns, the Australian 5-cent coin has held firm. It's like a time capsule, carrying the same essence it had when it first jingled into pockets back in the 1960s. But despite its longevity, the 5-cent coin has had its fair share of controversy. Over the years, many Australians have questioned whether it still has a place in modern society. With inflation steadily rising and digital payments becoming more common, the buying power of the 5-cent coin has drastically declined. There are people who argue it costs more to produce the coin than it's actually worth. In fact, at one point, it was estimated that minting a 5-cent coin cost nearly 7 cents. That's right, it cost more to make than to spend. Still, the coin persists. It's become a staple in donation boxes, a favorite in coin toss games, and even a useful tool for prying things open or scraping surfaces in a pinch. It might not buy you much on its own anymore, but the 5-cent coin has managed to stick around, quietly resisting obsolescence. Let's talk a little more about the echidna itself, the star of this coin. The echidna is an extraordinary creature, often overshadowed by its marsupial cousins like the kangaroo and koala. It's one of only 2 egg-laying mammals in the world, the other being the platypus. Covered in spines and possessing a long, sticky tongue, the echidna is an insectivore that loves to feast on ants and termites. Its design on the coin isn't just decorative, it's a tribute to Australia's remarkable biodiversity. And what makes this coin even more intriguing is the way it has evolved over the years, not in design, but in minting quality, rarity, and even errors. Some years have incredibly low mintages, making them valuable to collectors. For example, the 1972 5-cent coin is highly sought after due to its lower mintage numbers. If you happen to find one in good condition, you might just have a little treasure on your hands. Then there are the error coins, those happy accidents from the Royal Australian Mint that make collectors go wild. Whether it's an off-center strike, a die crack, or a clipped planchet, error coins can be worth many times more than their face value. Imagine pulling a 5-cent coin from your piggy bank only to discover it's worth hundreds of dollars due to a minting mishap. That's the kind of story that gets collectors excited. And speaking of collecting, the 5-cent coin holds a special place in the hearts of many numismatists. It's often the first coin people start collecting because it's so accessible. Kids might start by simply saving one of each year, while more seasoned collectors seek out proof coins, uncirculated versions, and rare mintages. The coin is small, durable, and relatively easy to store, making it a great entry point into the world of coin collecting. Interestingly, the 5-cent coin is also a reflection of Australian culture and values. It's modest, enduring, and quietly significant. It doesn't scream for attention like larger denominations or commemorative coins. Instead, it represents consistency and utility, two traits that mirror the everyday Australian spirit. It's there in your change, in donation jars, in couch cushions, and maybe even in the glove box of your car. Over the years, there have been discussions about phasing out the 5-cent coin altogether. Countries like New Zealand have already done so.